You know when I start off like that, it's going to be good. So, let's talk about the Flat Earth response to yesterday's videos. Woke up quite late today. It's like 11:45 now, so I must have woke up about 45 minutes ago. I'm dusting the sleep from my eyes, and I'm getting my cup of tea, and I start reading through the comments left on my videos, and I noticed straight away that's an unusually high amount of comments considering I'm virtually on holiday. Done like 2 videos in the last week, and both of them have been kind of informal ways of laughing at the plight of the Flat Earth maniacs, these lunatics, retards and narcissists, this cult of Flat Earth. Considering what's happened over the last year, not just the final experiment this week, like the whole culmination of the year, you would think that these loonies would have got it through their little pea brains now that I am not the person to try and convince that Flat Earth is real. Like, I have a religion already, guys, and it is a legit one. My God answers prayers, and I don't fall out with every single person I meet on account of going, "The world's flat, there's no gravity," like a Flat Earther does. So let's go through some of the things they've said, because it's just hilarious to me. The first one was, oh, so just because of the final experiment, just because they saw a 24-hour sun, just because a bunch of guys went to Antarctica and watched a 24-hour sun go round, just because of that, that's the only reason you believe in the round Earth, is it? And I was like, dude, are you actually on crack or something? Like, how can you be that? How can you plumb the depths of stupidity to that low depth? Is a 24-hour sun the only reason I believe that the Earth is round? Well, let's think about that. The 24-hour sun thing happened 3 days ago, and I am 43 years old. And for my entire 43 years of being alive, there has not been a single day when I had any notion that the world was flat. So maybe there is other reasons other than the thing that happened 3 days ago. But you wouldn't know that if you were the Flat Earther because you were so stupid. Look, I've spent a year being nice and patient and kind and generous to you flipping retards. It's time we got down to brass tacks and started really attacking the reasons for your delusion. That's what it is. This is a paranoid delusion. Flat Earth delusion. Flat Earth psychosis. Flatardism. It is not a regular healthy brain that would come to the conclusion that Earth is flat in the first place. Certainly after having been shown basic 8-year-old level science, like we went through that in my video yesterday in the science kit here. Even an 8-year-old can understand the basics of maths and physics and grasp it enough to do their own testing and examination and figure out, just figure it out on your own, that the Earth is a ball that spins, covered in water, in space, with gravity. Not because someone told me. Not because I got shown a YouTube video. It was CGI. The 24-hour sun, it was CGI. Oh, they're just NASA plants, those Mossad agents. Oh yeah, all 8 billion of them on the whole planet. 8 billion people work for Mossad. 8 billion NASA agents. What is their budget? That's what I want to know. What is their budget to be paying 8 billion people out of 9 billion people in the world to convince you loonies that the world is not round? Like, where? Let's go through it from the start. When you pay a Mossad agent, or a whoever agent, a NASA agent, whatever fictitious spying agency that you've dreamt up, whatever weird spy agency that is, when they pay someone to tell you a lie, is it worth the money they're paying to convince you of the thing they're convincing you of? That's the first question. So, where's the benefit to anyone on Earth to convince little old you in your basement on your phone, watching flipping enemas of Japanese tall women in diapers, What's the benefit to convince you that the Earth is flat, round, star-shaped, banana-shaped, invisible, hollow, cylindrical? What difference does it make what you believe of the shape of the planet? Are you ever going to leave the planet and check? Are you planning on going up there in a rocket? Because let me tell you, there have been 3 previous flat Earth maniacs who have done just that. Do you want to know how many of them survived? Google it. It's quite a funny tale, apart from the whole dying afterwards bit, you know, stupidity leading to death. So that's the first thing. No one cares what shape you think the world is, bro. And your flat Earth delusion only affects you and the poor buggers who have to listen to you talk and put up with your rubbish every single day. God knows how your family feel about this. And if your family agree with you, God help the lot of you. That's all I can say. You psychotic loonies. You raving idiots. So that's the first thing. Nobody is going to pay me to convince you that the world is any kind of shape. It is pointless, worthless, and a waste of money. And in case you hadn't noticed, even though you don't work and don't earn anything, you do nothing useful with your time, most people need to earn money so that they can pay their bills, feed their children, and put clothes on their back. Or a nice nassy dressing gown like I'm doing today, you know, fill my flat with stuff. Mossad aren't gonna pay me. Mossad don't care. Mossad have got their hands full fighting the Islam guys and getting hostages back. That's what they care about. They couldn't give a damn what you think about the shape of the planet, and they're certainly not going to pay me to negotiate this out with you on YouTube. Like, yeah, what kind of dumb retard do you have to be to think that is the case? Oh yeah, but you think the Earth is a flat plane surrounded by a glass upturned wine glass? And you think the sun and the moon are like projections. Like there's a little goblin at the top going, I will trap the flat earthers. And they've got like a little torch, like a little bat torch with a sun on it and another one with a moon on it. And they're like, is that what you think? Is that seriously what you think? How is it when you are on Antarctica, you're surrounded by water on all sides and it's cold all the way round? And when you are inland on a continent, you are not surrounded by water. You can have a person stood on the continent and a person stood on Antarctica, both looking up, and they can both plot the position of where the sun is. And through making a triangle, sun to person A to person B, and person B to sun, using a set square and a protractor, and a set of eyeballs, and a brain that works, you know, i.e. not a flat earther brain, you can figure out from that speculated conceptual triangle accurately how far away the sun is from you. Did you know that? It's called triangulation. Did you know you could do that? No, of course you didn't. Your scientific and mathematical prowess, your knowledge of the ways of calculation are sadly lacking. Let's put it that way. So when you calculate the distance we are from the sun accurately like that, within a few thousand feet, you know, probably more accurately than that if you're using computers. You can do it within a few inches if you have a computer to help you observe it accurately. Once person A and person B both know the distance from the sun, you can pretty much know the sun is not anywhere near the Earth and is not a projection or a fake NASA thing hanging off a bar on the top, whatever you think it is. But they can also figure out that the Earth must be curved, right? Because they know distance A person to distance B person, you know, the distance between those two is this long. But when they sail along it, it's actually longer. So how can this turn into this unless this is doing this? Yeah? So it's a curve, and they know that from looking at the sun, plotting the distance. And they know it's not just a one-off, because guess what else is in the sky? Lots of stars, and they can go, oh, stay over there, Bob. Fred's over here, Bob's over there, person A's Fred. Bob goes, Fred, let's measure all the other stars. So they measure all the other stars, And then they know not only how far they are from each other from the sun and that the Earth is curved, now they know the exact spinach of the sky pattern in relation to Earth. So either the sky is spinning around the Earth, or the Earth is spinning around on its own. That's the only two possible explanations you could possibly have. So far we know, just from eyeball observation, the sun is very far away from us and is round, and we are on a planet which is round. Now, we haven't proven gravity yet, and we haven't proven that we're spinning because the sky might be spinning and we might just be looking like we're spinning. So how do we know we are spinning and not the sky? Well, what we do is we use projectile weapons, or not necessarily a weapon, just a projectile of any kind. So what we do, we make sure our safety is off and we've got ammunition, and we aim at a target with a magnetic bullet or a tracer round, and we take a video of it and we go boom. Then when we look at the graph of the bullet moving, we can see we are actually slowly moving this way. But the bullet no longer is, because as soon as it leaves the gun, guess what it's doing? It's free falling. Even though we've propelled it very quickly in that direction, we're moving away from it, and so's the target. So we know we aimed at the middle of the target, but the bullet drifted a bit and hit the side of the target. Why did that happen if the sky is the thing that's spinning? Or maybe it's the world that's spinning, and that's why us and the target moved away, but the bullet in the sky did not. Get it? Flat earthers with the domey brains? So, what have we got so far? We've got bullet dynamics, we have stars and the sunlight pattern observation. Also, we're going to use my TV remote as a sundial. So let's say I put a sundial down, right, out in the ground outside. And it's like early in the morning, so the sun hasn't come up yet. I watch my sundial. When the sun rises and I see a shadow appear, from the shape of my shadow, I can tell you what shape is the sun. Did you know that? Bet you didn't know that. Not only that, as the shadow phases round my sundial throughout the day, if I mark with a pen, every half an hour the spot that the shadow falls in and the shape of it, I can tell you that the path of the sun in relation to me is not a straight line, but is a curved line, and that it must be actually going round a round thing. Otherwise, the shadow would just be a straight line, and it wouldn't be equally phased on each side. It wouldn't be consistently going round. And just to make double sure that this is accurate, Bob over there has done the same thing. And guess what we find when we compare the two sundials and the charts of our shadows? We find that the planet is round, so is the sun, so is its orbit, and there is no chance at all that the sun is going round us, because we had two going, and they both reflected that it was us that's moving, not the sun. Get it? So, these are just some of the basic 8-year-old science methods that a normal brain person can use to figure out that the Earth is not flat without needing to go to Antarctica and have a fabulous 24-hour sun expedition. Well done, Will Duffy, for that. That was pretty amazing to watch. But then you've got plenty of other things, right? Think if this is a water pistol. It's not. It's actually a pellet firing gun. But if this is a water pistol, right? and I shoot water this way, it comes out and it drops down. The reason I know it's going to go forward is the amount of pressure I'm putting on the actuator, the pump here. That's generating the forward acceleration. And once the force of me doing this is spent in that direction, which direction is the water going to fall in? It's going to fall down, isn't it? Now, many flat earthers will tell you, oh, the reason it falls down is density. The density of the water is more than the density of the air. But if that were true, there's an equal amount of air in front of it as there is below it. So if it was only density affecting the trail of the water, then it would stop in midair and it would just float there, wouldn't it? Like, it would be weightless and there would be nothing to move it down. So we know that something is pulling it down. How do we test for this? Well, we move the gun. Still the same, still goes down. We angle the gun. It goes up and comes down the same. So we can tell no matter what angle of ingress we fire the water from, no matter what way we hold our gun, no matter how much pressure we put on here, eventually the train of water is going to stop in its position in the air and it's going to start accelerating down. It doesn't just drop down immediately, it accelerates downwards. It hits a speed called a terminal velocity, which means that's the most it's ever going to speed up. And then it doesn't stop accelerating or going to that terminal velocity until it hits the ground and it comes to a rest on the solid ground. Now that demonstrates Coriolis effect, gravity, weight of objects, and that the world is not flat. Doesn't it? Like, think about it. Radius of a sundial and the phasing of shadows. The temperature of the shadows in sunlight and in moonlight and in the dark. When everything's a shadow. The fact that we can observe the sun and stars from 2 points on Earth and use trigonometry, triangulation to figure out the distance from these things. All these things are well known. 8-year-olds can understand these things, flat earthers. The fact that you guys don't understand these, you know what I think it is? This is daily Corvid speculation, this is not factual. I think you flat earthers have a range of psychological issues that are causing you to adhere to the rules of this inertial cult. That's what it is, a flat earth cult. It's a religion, a really bad one. The first one is inflated ego and a large helping of narcissism. Hear me out. You can go over to Google right now and you can find a list of traits which we know narcissistic people have. Isn't it just a big coincidence that flat earthers also have these traits? Not just a little bit. Narcissists are the same as flat earthers. They have the same basic reactions to logic and arguments and debates and being shown facts they don't like as narcissists. And they have no responsibility for the things that they say or do. So that's problem one. You're flipping retards and you are narcissists. Problem number two is, I think, daily Corvid opinion, I can't prove this, I think you are on large amounts of Class A drugs, or Schedule 1 if you are in the United States. These include things like ketamine, cocaine, crack, speed, and heroin. Plus, I think you're drinking on top of that and smoking a lot as well. Why would I think this? Well, when we go back to Google and we look for what are the signs of minor brain damage caused by drug addictions, what do you know? Once again, we find they are exactly the same as the effects we see on these odd people, these flat earthers. They act exactly like a narcissist, drug-addicted psycho. So it makes sense, therefore, we're observing these effects on them. They repeatedly practice these things. They don't just accidentally do it once or twice. They practice these things on a regular basis. They premeditate and they practice every day. And they do these things. So what else are we supposed to think, flatties? You are stupid, or are you malicious? I think you're malicious. You're not stupid. You know that 8-year-olds can understand this. But you have a vested interest, an agenda, which you wish to further. For instance, you have a YouTube channel where you take money from people who are less well-educated or informed than you in countries where the education is sadly lacking. You take advantage of the people's good nature there so that you can fill your own pockets with money so that you can continue using your drugs. Or you can just have a lot of money. Sound familiar? You are a con artist is what that is. Now, if you turned up in another country, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, somewhere where the education is not as good as it is here, if you turned up on their shores and said, "Hello everybody, I am a cocaine addict and I need your money so I can fill my crack pipe," do you think they'd pay you for that? Do you think they'd willingly give you the small scraps of money that they have saved up and wish you well? No. So what do? You turn up with a holy book and you say, "I'm a gospel speaker, the truth is not subjective." Or you say, well, look, I'm not saying he is a particular druggie, but he might be. He's definitely a narcissist. You turn up with your holy book and you say, "Everyone should trust me. I'm this great guy. I will give you salvation. I will give you great things. I'll give you free Bibles. I'll give you free t-shirts. I will visit you every day and pat you on the head and tell you you're saved." All you've got to do is give me money. And then people give them money. And they make videos and people give them more money. And they band together with other scam artists and they all make money. And they all sit around, probably, they all do all these things. And it is just ego. It is just selfish, self-interested, self-aggrandizing, delusionary psychosis. That is flat earth. Do I need to say any more? Well, I will say more. Some people just have no social life, no prospects in life, and no particular ambitions. So their life's going nowhere, and they have no meaning. Their life lacks meaning. They don't have any purpose, and they're searching for a purpose. And when they're searching for a purpose, along comes Mr. Conspiracy Guy and goes, "Tsk, come over here. You're pretty dumb, aren't you?" And they're like, "What do you mean I'm dumb?" "I'm not dumb." "Well, you're not doing anything with your life. You're doing nothing." "Well, okay, I'm doing nothing in my life." "What about there's this big secret conspiracy and you could be the one that cracks it. All you got to do is come with me and talk about flat earth all day." And they go, "My life can have meaning. All I've got to do is convince people that there's this big conspiracy on and then solve it." Well, that should be easy enough since it's not real. Now the flat earther's life has meaning. It has purpose. So they build this little delusionary bubble, and even though everyone else is attacking them the whole time, they're thinking, "I'm the saviour, I can teach you that the flat earth is real and then solve it for you. Just give me money." Then they go off to their little safe bubble with all the other flat earthers, and they're all sat around going, "Oh, tomorrow will be the day we convince them." So they're an echo chamber. And that is why flat earthers exist. So, that's the end of this presentation. In conclusion, flat earthers are narcissistic, psychosis-ridden weirdos, absolute lunatics, and should be avoided at all costs. You should never take on board what they say unless they can prove it with evidence, without ad homs, without insulting you or running away or lying or, diversifying off to a different argument or getting someone else in to answer it for them. That's another favourite I've seen of these idiots. If they can't answer the simple question and give you factual evidence on the spot, or, in a few days in a simple form like I've done here, then you know they are a fraudster who is self-interested and has ambitions only to take money so that they can go home and get off their head on drugs and alcohol. The end. Okay? Look, I'm not saying 100% of flat earthers are like this, but it's going to be close to 99%, if not 100. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that. You learned something. God bless you all and your little dingly ears and cheeky little lovely cheeks. And I'll see you lovely people in the next one. Bye now. So I think we've disemboweled the fraudsters of Flat Earth quite enough for one day, so I will say my oh no, wait! Adam, while I'm on the subject, where is my 5-minute video you said was going to be so very easy that disproves gravity? Please, I'd love to hear from you. God bless you all, and I'll see you next time.